Hi everyone, today I've come to share with you my little golden book that I've altered. It's an Alice in Wonderland one. The papers I have used throughout this book are the Echo Park papers, Alice in Wonderland. This is the 6x6 paper pad, but I've used the 12x12 and the ephemera pack that came with the collection. The front cover is just been left as it is. It has a bit of wear on the edges, but it's still in pretty good condition. The spine is 2 inches and I've just made the buttons are running along the spine, and one of these is flipped over. There you go. And there's the material is Alice in Wonderland material that I had in my stash, and that's the back of the book, and it has this lace trim along the edge, and I've actually sewed the fabric and the lace trim to the book. So if you want to run these through your sewing machine, you can, but do it really, really slowly. So it does work. The closure is just a seam binding with a button attached to it, and it just wraps around, even though I've tied it up today. So it just undoes like that. It's just a heart button on a piece of seam binding, and I actually bought the buttons yesterday. I'll just show you the jar. I mean, who doesn't love a jar of buttons? I mean, have a look at this. All these buttons I found at the local Spotlight, and I just filled the jar up with them. So I think I've got a few to keep going now. Anyway, let's get into this little golden book. The first page is just left blank. There is a name written in here. So this is actually my daughter's Alice in Wonderland little golden book, and I think we got it at a Salvation Army store or a St. Vinny's store, I can't remember which, and it was a long time at our holiday house, and I rescued it before we sold the house, and we brought it home, and I've altered it, and she doesn't know I've pulled it apart and altered it for her. The inside, this is just a bit of paper to reinforce the spine, and these are the papers from the Echo Park collection, and as you can see, 4 of the cutter parts fit perfectly to cover the pages. This is a pocket. This book was published in 1991, which is the birth year of my daughter, so that'll be a nice little keepsake for her. And as you can see, I haven't erased the pencil marks yet. So the story's in order, and let's go through it quickly. These are tea-dyed papers. These are my ledger papers. This is a pocket. And this is a little ephemera piece that I made out of some scrap paper. And in this little glassine bag are the little ephemera pieces that have been left over from the collection. So I've just put them in there. So she can put these throughout the book if she wants. They're just little sayings. So there's a few of those left. Behind here I've got a little card that I made just with some scrap paper, and that's the back of it. So this is a tuck spot as well. There's small pages of the book, some note paper that I had in my stash, more tea-dyed paper, and I've done the pizza tray dyeing again, paper bag that doesn't have anything in it. This is a vellum page. Some more ledger paper that folds out. This is Kiki K note paper with some cupcakes around it. A doily, This is a little tuck space with some of the ephemera from the pack. And I've also edged this with a punch. This is a page from another Alice in Wonderland book, which I haven't got on my desk at the moment. I've packed it away. And that's the middle of the signature. It's just tied with crochet cotton. And you can use that as a tuck space. Some more of the paper pack collection. Another tuck space that I've made. It has just 2 little pieces of ephemera in it. The doily, tea-day paper, the other side of the Kitty K paper, ledger paper, tea-day paper, some more of the story. This is a belly band. It has 2 little tags in it. And they're plain on the back, so you can journal on the back of them. This book also has 3 signatures, so the story is in the first signature and in the last signature. It's a vellum page. Here I've just attached I've made an envelope and just attached it with a paper clip. I hope that comes off. I've damaged it a bit, but I haven't sealed it, so she can do with it whatever she wants. She can seal it up or she can just leave it as it is. So that just clips to that page. The other side of the little bag, there's nothing in there. More tea-dyed paper, some more note paper, some more of the story. This has got lines on it, so this has been dyed on a rack with lines on it. They're actually little squares, but I can never get the little squares, so the lines are good. This flips out. This here had an accident. I wasn't paying attention and it got burnt in the oven, so I've left it. That makes it for a bit of an interesting piece of paper. So this is note to self: pay attention when you're drying the papers in the oven. This is another little tuck spot with some ephemera in it. And this is an extension page. No, that's not a pocket. It's a pocket here. It's the end of the first signature, and I've sewn all around. I've sewn the pockets together so you can, so they stay together. I haven't glued them or anything. I just ran them through the sewing machine. The third signature is the second signature. Sorry, is the plain one. So this doesn't have any of the story in it. There's a pocket here. Tea-dyed paper, Kitty K paper. More tea-dyed paper, some more note paper. This one was an interesting effect. Some more vellum, some more of the pizza tray dyed paper, ledger paper, and another doily. And this is not the centre of the signature, but it's just a piece of the collection, paper from the collection, and another tuck space. This folds out, so this is a page from the storybook, and you can tuck something in here. And that's the centre of the second signature. It's tuck spot, and another tuck space, and you can fold that out. I've actually had to attach another piece of paper to that because I made a mess of it. So I rescued it with a piece of the paper from the collection. This is just a tuck space and just a little card. I love this image of Alice sitting under the tree reading her book. That's so like my daughter Sarah. She loves her books. A doily, some tea-dyed paper. There's plenty of journaling space in this. I've left it more or less plain. I'll just flip through. This is a pocket here, and that's the end of the second signature. The third signature has this cover on it. It has a pocket, and it goes on with the rest of the story. The book is very well, it's actually as old as Sarah. She's 28, so it's lasted well, but the pages are a bit faded. I don't think they're as vibrant, the colours, anymore. There's a bit of a scribble mark there. Some more vellum, some more tea-dyed paper. And here I've made a pocket, and I've just added a button onto the top of this, call it a bookmark, I guess. That's plain. And I've also added the little golden book spine. I've attached it to here. This one came off relatively easily in one piece. I used the heat gun method to get this off, so that worked well. This next one I'm working on didn't work so well, so I've totally wrecked that one. But I'm sure the book will be just as nice. It's more of the story. Tea-dyed paper, note paper, some more Kiki K paper, and that's the middle of this signature. So I've just left them tied. I haven't put anything on the ends of the strings. Some more of the papers, more of the story, and there's a few little marks on top of the on top of the pages. I don't know what that is. Probably just wear and tear. But you can see the colours aren't really as vibrant anymore as what the newer ones are. I can't reach the newer ones. I've got some newer ones, but I can't reach them at the minute. Some more vellum, more of the story. This is just paper clips, so you can either make a pocket out of this or leave it. It is designed to be a pocket, and this is attached. You can see I've attached that to paper to extend the page. That is Gail Agostinelli's method of doing books. Tea-dye paper, doily, and we come to the end of the story where Alice wakes up and she goes home with her sister. This is a pocket. It's just a little piece of ephemera I've glued down, and there's a little bit of a tuck space here. There's a pocket here, and that's the end of my Alice in Wonderland little golden book. As you can see, there's a bit of a scribble mark here. I wish they wouldn't do that, but what can you do? I probably did the same thing with mine. So this one was printed in Wisconsin. And as you can see, that's the back of it again. So this is a bit of wear and tear, but otherwise it's in good condition. So these are a lot of fun to make. I actually took it to the craft store with me yesterday, and the ladies at the counter were quite fascinated with it, and asked me where I got my little golden books and where I sourced them from and what I did with them, and they had a look at them, and they said, oh, these are just wonderful, you know, to repurpose a book like that. It's something they've never sort of seen before, but they really enjoyed having a look through it. The buttons, these little wooden buttons here, these ladybirds, they come from Lincraft. This is a little cupcake, and it comes from a craft show, but the rest of the buttons are from Spotlight. So I hope you enjoyed this little flip through. The next one I'm working on is a Raggedy Ann book, and that's the one I totally wrecked. But I'll show you the cover of it. I've had to make the spine a good 3 inches. Put this one to the side. And I've really had to play with this one. This one's going out to somebody special. So I will show you this one when it's finished. But this is a 3-inch spine, and the little golden book that was in here has... I'm going from one desk to another, sorry guys. This one has 3 signatures. So I've actually thought I might put 6 signatures in this one, but just make them a bit smaller. And this one was published in 1970, and it's actually been printed here at Golden Press in Sydney. So this one's really got an Australian feel to it. So it's even got the Australian prices for what they were in the, what was it, let's say 1970. So that makes for a bit of interesting reading, but I had to cover the R up, and I can't really put anything else down here, but I'm still thinking about it. So let's see how this one turns out. And that's the back of it. Anyway, thank you for coming along and having a look at my Alice in Wonderland little golden book that I created. And I hope to see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crafting and have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.